The vast expanse of the Milky Way galaxy teemed with life, a cosmic tapestry of diverse alien races. Among these countless species, one stood out not for its strength or power, but for its perceived weakness. The Zephyrians, a race of gentle, ethereal beings, found themselves at the bottom of the galactic pecking order. Hailing from the distant planet Zephyria, these aliens possessed an appearance that belied their advanced intellect. Standing at an average height of 5 feet, their bodies were slender and almost translucent, with large, expressive eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the stars. But in a galaxy where might made right, the Zephyrians' pacifist nature and physically fragile bodies made them easy targets. On a bustling space station orbiting a neutral planet, a group of Zephyrian diplomats huddled together, their faces etched with worry. They had just been turned away from yet another potential alliance, their pleas for protection falling on deaf ears. We cannot risk our own safety to shelter such fragile beings. The ambassador of the Crocs, a warrior race of reptilian aliens, had sneered. His words still echoed in their minds, a painful reminder of their predicament. Lyra, the lead Zephyrian diplomat, sighed deeply. Her luminescent skin flickered with patterns of distress, a trait unique to her species. "What are we to do now?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "We've been rejected by every major power in this sector." Her colleague, Zorn, shook his head sadly. "Perhaps we should seek out the lesser-known races. Surely, someone must see our value beyond our physical limitations." As they spoke, a commotion erupted nearby. A group of burly Goraxians, known throughout the galaxy for their brute strength and short tempers, had noticed the Zephyrians. With predatory grins, they approached. "Well, well," the largest Goraxian growled, towering over the diminutive Zephyrians. "If it isn't the galaxy's favorite punching bags. What's wrong? No one wants to play with you." Lyra stepped forward, her form trembling but her voice steady. "We mean no trouble. Please, let us pass." The Goraxians laughed, a harsh sound that drew the attention of other aliens in the area. Some watched with amusement, others with pity, but none moved to intervene. "You know the rules," another Goraxian sneered. "Weaklings pay a toll. Hand over your credits, or we'll see just how fragile you really are." Zorn placed a calming hand on Lyra's shoulder. "Perhaps it's best if we comply," he murmured. "We cannot afford another incident." With heavy hearts, the Zephyrians reached for their credit chips. It wasn't the first time they had been extorted, and they knew it wouldn't be the last. As they handed over their hard-earned currency, Lyra couldn't help but wonder if there was any place in the galaxy where they could find true acceptance and protection. Little did they know, far across the galaxy, on a small blue planet called Earth, a species was evolving. These beings, known as humans, were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They possessed a unique combination of physical resilience, emotional depth, and unwavering determination. As the Zephyrians faced yet another humiliation at the hands of stronger races, destiny was already setting the stage for an unexpected encounter. An encounter that would not only change the fate of the Zephyrians, but would send ripples across the entire galaxy. For now, though, Lyra and her fellow diplomats could only retreat to their small ship, licking their wounds and wondering how much longer their species could survive in such a hostile universe. They were unaware that their salvation lay not in the grand empires or mighty warrior races, but in a species that many in the galaxy considered primitive and unremarkable. The stars twinkled indifferently as the Zephyrian ship departed the space station, carrying with it the hopes and fears of an entire race. Their journey was far from over, and the greatest adventure of their lives was about to begin. The Zephyrian scout ship, Star Whisper, glided silently through the inky blackness of space. Its sleek, pearlescent hull reflected the distant starlight, making it look like a graceful celestial creature. Inside, a crew of 5 Zephyrians worked tirelessly, their bioluminescent skin casting a soft glow throughout the ship's interior. Captain Ellerin, a veteran explorer with eyes that sparkled like captured nebulae, stood at the helm. Her slender fingers danced over the holographic controls, as she guided the ship towards an unremarkable yellow star in a spiral arm of the Milky Way. "Status report," she called out, her melodic voice tinged with both excitement and apprehension. Zara, the ship's scientist, responded eagerly. "Captain, we're approaching the third planet of this solar system. Initial scans show it's teeming with life." The crew gathered around the central holographic display, their eyes wide with wonder. The image of a beautiful blue and green planet materialized before them, swirling white clouds obscuring parts of its surface. "It's beautiful," whispered Theron, the young navigation officer. "But are we sure it's safe? Remember what happened on Cronus VI?" A collective shudder passed through the crew. Their last attempt at finding allies had ended in disaster when the inhabitants of Cronus VI had tried to enslave them for their advanced technology. Ellerin placed a comforting hand on Theron's shoulder. "We must have hope," she said softly. "Our people are counting on us to find help." As the Star Whisper entered orbit around the planet Earth, the Zephyrians began their observations. They watched in fascination as the dominant species, humans, went about their daily lives. "They're so diverse," Zara noted, adjusting the sensors to zoom in on different regions of the planet. "Look at the variety in their appearances and cultures." Leon, the ship's engineer, pointed to a scene of a human rescue team pulling survivors from a collapsed building. "And they're strong. But they use that strength to help each other." For days, the Zephyrians observed humanity. They saw acts of kindness and bravery, witnessed the humans' resilience in the face of natural disasters, and marveled at their rapid technological advancements. "They're not like the other races we've encountered," Ellerin mused. "They have a unique balance of physical capability and emotional depth." The crew watched as humans celebrated victories, mourned losses, and persistently pushed the boundaries of their knowledge. They saw a species that, despite its flaws, continually strived to be better. On the 5th day of their observation, alarms blared throughout the Star Whisper. Theron's hands flew over his console. "Captain, we've been detected by their primitive radar systems. A group of their flying machines is approaching rapidly." Panic rippled through the crew. Memories of past rejections and attacks flashed through their minds. Ellerin stood tall, her decision made. "This is our chance," she declared. "Prepare for first contact protocol. We'll meet them openly." As Earth's fighter jets approached, the Star Whisper decloaked, revealing itself fully. The human pilots were stunned, their radio chatter a mix of excitement and trepidation. In a bold move, Ellerin opened a channel to the human aircraft, transmitting in all Earth languages thanks to their advanced translation technology. "People of Earth," her voice rang out, clear and melodious. "We come in peace, seeking friendship and alliance. We are the Zephyrians, and we have traveled far in hopes of finding understanding hearts and strong allies." The response was immediate. The fighter jets escorted the Star Whisper to a secure location, where world leaders quickly gathered. As Ellerin and her crew prepared to leave their ship and step onto Earth soil, she turned to her team, her eyes shining with hope. "Remember," she said, "no matter what happens, we have already seen the potential in these humans. They may be our last hope, but I believe they might just be our best hope too." With a deep breath, the Zephyrians opened their ship's doors, ready to meet the species that could change their fate and the balance of the entire galaxy. The world held its breath as the sleek, pearlescent ship touched down on the carefully prepared landing zone. News channels across the globe broadcast live footage of the event, their commentators speaking in hushed, excited tones. This was humanity's first official contact with an alien species. A mix of world leaders, scientists, and military personnel stood at a safe distance, their faces a blend of anticipation and caution. Among them was Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's leading xenobiologist, her heart racing with the prospect of meeting actual extraterrestrial life. With a soft hiss, the ship's doors opened. A ramp extended, touching the ground with a gentle thud. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, bathed in a soft, ethereal light, the Zephyrians emerged. Captain Ellerin led her crew, her luminescent skin pulsing with a calming blue glow. As they descended the ramp, the humans gasped audibly. The Zephyrians' fragile beauty was unlike anything they had ever seen. Dr. Chen stepped forward, chosen as humanity's representative for this historic moment. She raised her hand in a universal gesture of peace. "Welcome to Earth," she said, her voice steady despite her nervousness. "We come in friendship." Ellerin mimicked the gesture, her large eyes sparkling with hope. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Zephyrians, and we come seeking alliance and protection." As translators relayed the message to the assembled crowd, murmurs of surprise rippled through the humans. They had expected many things, but a request for protection wasn't one of them. Over the next few hours, in a hastily prepared conference room, Ellerin and her crew shared their story with Earth's representatives. They spoke of their peaceful civilization, their advanced technology, and their struggles in a galaxy that valued physical might over all else. "We have been exploited, rejected, and hunted," Ellerin explained, her voice tinged with sadness. "Our search for allies has led us across the stars, and finally to your world." The human representatives listened, alternating between sympathy for the Zephyrians' plight and skepticism about their own ability to protect an alien race from galactic threats. "But why us?" asked General Maria Rodriguez, her brow furrowed. "We've barely left our own solar system. How could we possibly help you against advanced alien civilizations?" Zara, the Zephyrian scientist, stepped forward. "We've observed your species," she said, her voice filled with admiration. "You possess a unique combination of physical resilience, emotional depth, and unwavering determination. These qualities are rare in the galaxy." Dr. Chen leaned forward, intrigued. "Can you elaborate?" Theron, the young navigator, chimed in. "We've seen your people face natural disasters with courage, rebuild from ruins with determination. Your bodies adapt to harsh conditions that would cripple other species, and your capacity for empathy and cooperation is extraordinary." The room fell silent as the humans absorbed this information. It was strange to hear their species praised by beings from across the stars. Ellerin continued, "We offer an exchange. Our advanced technology and scientific knowledge for your protection and partnership. Together, we believe we can forge a new path in the galaxy." Debates erupted among the human representatives. Some were excited by the prospect of advanced alien technology. Others were wary of the responsibility and potential danger. As discussions heated up, Dr. Chen noticed the Zephyrian skin beginning to pulse with anxious patterns. She stood up, calling for silence. "Look at them," she said, gesturing to the aliens. "They've crossed the vastness of space, risked everything to come here. They're not so different from our own ancestors who sailed across oceans seeking new homes and alliances." Her words seemed to strike a chord. The mood in the room shifted. President Kira Yamamoto of the United Earth Council stood up. "We need time to discuss and to inform our people. But know this, Zephyrians, your bravery in coming here has not gone unnoticed. Humanity has always prided itself on offering sanctuary to those in need. We will not turn our backs on you." As the first day of this historic meeting drew to a close, both humans and Zephyrians felt a spark of hope. The galaxy might be a harsh place, but on this small blue planet, a most unusual alliance was beginning to take shape. In the weeks following the historic first contact, Earth buzzed with excitement and apprehension. News of the Zephyrians spread like wildfire, dominating headlines and social media feeds across the globe. People everywhere debated the implications of this new alliance. At the United Nations headquarters in New York, world leaders gathered for an emergency session to formalize the Human-Zephyrian Alliance. The Grand Assembly Hall was packed, with representatives from every nation present. Captain Ellerin and her crew stood at the podium, their ethereal forms a stark contrast to the sea of human faces before them. President Yamamoto of the United Earth Council stood beside them, ready to address the assembly. "Distinguished delegates," Yamamoto began, her voice firm and clear. Today, we stand at a crossroads in human history. The Zephyrians have offered us a chance to step onto the galactic stage, to protect those in need, and to advance our civilization beyond our wildest dreams. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some nodded in agreement, while others frowned with concern. Ellerin stepped forward, her skin glowing with a mix of hope and nervousness. "People of Earth," she said, her melodious voice carrying across the hall, "we offer you the knowledge of 1,000 worlds. Our technology can help solve your energy crisis, cure diseases, and unlock the secrets of the universe." Dr. Sarah Chen, now appointed as the chief liaison to the Zephyrians, presented a series of holographic projections. They showed remarkable advancements: clean energy sources, medical breakthroughs, and faster-than-light travel technology. The assembly watched in awe as the potential benefits of the alliance unfolded before their eyes. Even the skeptics found it hard to deny the incredible opportunities this partnership could bring. However, not everyone was convinced. The delegate from Russia stood up, his face etched with concern. "And what of the dangers?" he asked. "By allying with the Zephyrians, do we not paint a target on our backs for these hostile alien races they speak of?" A tense silence fell over the room. It was the question many had been afraid to ask. General Rodriguez, representing Earth's Unified Military Command, stepped up to the podium. "We've analyzed this risk extensively," she stated firmly. "Yes, there are potential dangers, but with Zephyrian technology, we can enhance our defenses beyond anything we've ever imagined. We'll be prepared." The debate raged on for hours. Concerns were raised, addressed, and debated further. Through it all, the Zephyrians waited patiently, their calm demeanor a sharp contrast to the intense human discussions. As the session neared its end, a surprise speaker took the floor. Jai Patel, a young climate activist from India, had been invited to represent the voice of Earth's youth. "Look at our history," Jai said, his young voice ringing with passion. "Humanity has always grown by embracing the unknown, by helping those in need. The Zephyrians came to us in their time of need. How can we turn them away? This is our chance to show the galaxy what humanity truly stands for." His words seemed to shift the mood in the room. One by one, nations began to voice their support for the alliance. As the final votes were tallied, President Yamamoto and Captain Ellerin stood side by side. The result was clear: Earth would accept the alliance. Cheers erupted in the assembly hall. Yamamoto and Ellerin shook hands, sealing the historic pact between their species. "Today," Yamamoto announced, "we become citizens not just of Earth, but of the galaxy." As news of the decision spread, celebrations broke out around the world. Humans and Zephyrians alike rejoiced in the streets, marveling at the new era of cooperation that lay ahead. In the following days, Zephyrian ships began arriving on Earth, carrying scientists, engineers, and diplomats eager to begin the cultural and technological exchange. Human universities, research centers, and military bases prepared to welcome their new alien allies. The Human-Zephyrian Alliance was born, ready to face whatever challenges the galaxy might throw their way. Little did they know, their united strength was about to be tested sooner than anyone expected. 6 months had passed since the formation of the Human-Zephyrian Alliance, and the effects were beginning to ripple across the galaxy. On Earth, the integration of Zephyrian technology had led to rapid advancements. Clean energy-powered cities, new medical treatments saved countless lives, and the first human-built faster-than-light ship was nearing completion. But it was in the wider galaxy where the most significant changes were taking place. On the bustling trade planet of Nexus Prime, a holographic news broadcast flickered to life in a crowded alien bar. The patrons, a mix of various species from across the galaxy, turned their attention to the screen. "Breaking news," the Arcturian newscaster announced, her tentacles waving excitedly. "The once rejected Zephyrians have emerged as a rising power, thanks to their alliance with a previously unknown species called humans." The bar erupted in a cacophony of surprised clicks, whistles, and grunts. "Humans," a gruff Goraxian warrior scoffed. Never heard of them. A sleek Valerian information broker leaned in, her silver eyes glinting. "Oh, but you will," she purred. "My sources say these humans are unlike anything we've seen before." The news continued, showing footage of human soldiers training alongside Zephyrians, their strength and agility on full display. Another clip showcased a human diplomat fiercely defending Zephyrian rights at a Galactic Council meeting. In the Draconian Empire, Emperor Zornfar watched the same broadcast, his scaled face twisted in a scowl. "These humans dare to upset the balance of power," he growled to his advisors. "Prepare our fleets. We must assess this new threat." Meanwhile, on the peaceful planet of Harmonious, the Melodians, a race known for their wisdom, convened an emergency council. Elder Lyra, her musical voice tinged with excitement, addressed the gathering. "The humans have done what we thought impossible. They've given the Zephyrians a place in this harsh galaxy. Perhaps it's time we reconsider our policy of isolation." Back on Earth, in the newly constructed Galactic Cooperation Center in Geneva, Captain Ellerin and General Rodriguez were in a tense meeting with Dr. Chen. "We've detected unusual movement in the Draconian fleet," Rodriguez reported, pointing to a holographic star map. "They're mobilizing faster than we anticipated." Ellerin's skin pulsed with worry. The Draconians are one of the most aggressive species in the galaxy. If they're making moves, it can't be good. Dr. Chen frowned. "But we've also received messages from 15 different races in the past week, all expressing interest in diplomatic relations. The Melodians, in particular, seem eager to meet." Their discussion was interrupted by a junior officer bursting into the room. "Sir, ma'am," he panted, "we've just received a transmission. The Galactic Council has called for an emergency session, and they've invited Earth to attend as observers." The three leaders exchanged shocked looks. The Galactic Council was the highest authority in known space, and Earth had never been acknowledged by them before. "This is unprecedented," Ellerin whispered, her form shimmering with excitement. Rodriguez squared her shoulders. "It's also dangerous. We'll be walking into a den of species who might see us as a threat, or as potential allies," Chen added optimistically. After a moment of contemplation, Ellerin spoke. "We knew our alliance would change things, but I don't think any of us realized how quickly. The galaxy is watching us now. What we do next will shape the future of both our species." As they prepared for the challenging journey ahead, news of Earth's invitation spread rapidly across the planet. Humans everywhere felt a mix of pride and trepidation. Their species, unknown just months ago, was now stepping onto the galactic stage. In homes, offices, and public spaces around the world, humans and Zephyrians gathered to watch the historic moment unfold. As the Earth's representatives boarded the sleek, Zephyrian-enhanced ship that would take them to the Galactic Council, one thing became clear: ready or not, humanity's great galactic adventure had truly begun. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see what this unusual alliance would do next. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with tension. Representatives from 100 different species filled the chamber, their eyes fixed on the entrance. Suddenly, the doors swung open, and the human Zephyrian delegation walked in. President Yamamoto led the group, her face a mask of calm determination. Beside her, Captain Ellerin's skin shimmered with a mix of excitement and nervousness. General Rodriguez and Dr. Chen followed, their eyes darting around, taking in the alien faces. As they took their seats in the observer section, whispers rippled through the crowd. Many had never seen a human before, and their appearance, so similar to some species, yet so different, caused quite a stir. The council leader, a wise old Andromedan, with glowing tendrils, called for silence. "We gather today to address the shifting balance of power in our galaxy," his voice boomed. "The alliance between humans and Zephyrians has caused concern among some members." No sooner had he finished speaking than Emperor Zornfar of the Draconian Empire rose, his scaled face twisted in a snarl. "Concern. "This is an outrage," he roared. "These humans, these unknowns, dare to arm the Zephyrians and upset the natural order." Murmurs of agreement came from some quarters, while others looked uncomfortable. President Yamamoto stood, her voice clear and strong. "We came in peace, offering friendship to a species in need. Is this not the very purpose of galactic cooperation?" Before anyone could respond, alarms blared throughout the chamber. A holographic display flickered to life, showing a massive fleet of ships approaching the council station. "We're under attack," someone shouted. Chaos erupted in the chamber, but amidst the panic, General Rodriguez sprang into action. "Everyone, remain calm," she commanded, her military training kicking in. "We need to organize a defense." To everyone's surprise, the human general's authoritative voice cut through the chaos. Species that moments ago were arguing now turned to her for direction. Captain Ellerin stepped forward, her delicate form a stark contrast to the panic around her. "Our ship has advanced shielding technology. We can help protect the station." As Rodriguez coordinated with other military leaders and Ellerin worked with the station's engineers, Dr. Chen made a startling discovery. "These attack patterns, they're draconian," she exclaimed, pointing at the tactical display. All eyes turned to Emperor Zornthar, who looked caught off guard. This is not our doing," he protested, but the doubt in his voice was clear. President Yamamoto seized the moment. "It seems, Emperor, that someone in your empire decided to take matters into their own hands. Now, we can continue to argue, or we can work together to survive this attack." For a tense moment, the chamber was silent. Then, to everyone's amazement, Zornthar nodded. "Very well, human. Show us what you can do." What followed was a display of cooperation unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Human strategic thinking, Zephyrian technology, draconian firepower, and the unique abilities of a dozen other species all came together. General Rodriguez, her face streaked with sweat, coordinated the defense from the command center. Dr. Chen worked tirelessly with alien scientists to boost the station's shields. And in space, human pilots flew alongside alien ships, their unconventional tactics catching the attackers off guard. Hours passed in a blur of explosions, tense commands, and nail-biting close calls. But finally, against all odds, the attack was repelled. As the all-clear signal sounded, the council chamber erupted in cheers. Species that had never cooperated before were patting each other on the back, or tentacle, or carapace. The council leader raised his tendrils for silence. "Today," he announced, his voice filled with awe, "we have witnessed something extraordinary. In the face of adversity, we came together. And at the heart of it all stood the most unlikely alliance, humans and Zephyrians." He turned to the Earth delegation. "You have proven yourselves not just to be newcomers, but valuable members of our galactic community. We officially extend an invitation for Earth to join the Galactic Council." As President Yamamoto accepted the invitation, tears of joy in her eyes, it was clear to everyone present that a new era had dawned. The galaxy would never be the same again. 5 years had passed since the fateful day at the Galactic Council. The galaxy had changed in ways no one could have imagined. On a beautiful terraformed moon orbiting Jupiter, representatives from across the cosmos gathered for the first intergalactic peace summit. The Grand Assembly Hall was a marvel of human Zephyrian architecture, blending Earth's robust designs with Zephyrian ethereal aesthetics. Holographic displays showed scenes from hundreds of worlds, all connected in real time. President Yamamoto, now serving her second term, stood at the podium. Beside her were Captain Ellerin, General Rodriguez, and Dr. Chen, the four who had become symbols of the new galactic order. "Friends, allies, fellow beings of the galaxy," Yamamoto began, her voice carrying to every corner of the hall, and to billions of viewers across the stars. 5 years ago, 2 unlikely species came together. Today, we celebrate not just our alliance, but the dawning of a new era of cooperation. Ellerin stepped forward, her luminescent form glowing with pride. Once, we Zephyrians were rejected, considered too weak to have a place in this galaxy. But the humans taught us, and indeed all of us, a valuable lesson. True strength lies not in physical might, but in unity, compassion, and the will to protect others. The audience burst into applause, a cacophony of diverse sounds from countless species. General Rodriguez took the stage next, her uniform adorned with medals from a dozen alien nations. Our combined defense force has not only repelled 3 major invasion attempts, but has also brought peace to 17 ongoing conflicts. We've proven that diversity is our greatest military asset. Dr. Chen, now head of the Intergalactic Scientific Cooperation Initiative, shared the latest breakthroughs. By combining knowledge from across the galaxy, we've made leaps in medicine, sustainable energy, and space exploration. Diseases once thought incurable are now easily treatable. We've even begun to explore other galaxies. As they spoke, holographic images showcased their achievements. Zephyrian cities thriving on Earth, human colonies flourishing on distant planets, and joint scientific missions pushing the boundaries of known space. But the most striking image was that of a draconian warship, now repurposed as a peacekeeping vessel, crewed by a mix of humans, Zephyrians, Draconians, and other species. Emperor Zornthar, once their fiercest opponent, rose to speak. His once fierce demeanor had softened, though he still cut an imposing figure. "I stand here today to admit I was wrong," he said, his gravelly voice filled with humility. "The humans and Zephyrians have shown us a better way. Strength without compassion is meaningless. Unity is the true path to greatness." The hall erupted in cheers once more. Species that once would have never dreamed of cooperating were now working side by side, learning from each other's strengths. As the summit continued, delegates shared stories of cultural exchanges, joint ventures, and friendships forged across the stars. The galaxy was no longer a harsh, unforgiving place for the Zephyrians or any other species once considered weak. In a quiet moment during the celebrations, Ellerin turned to Yamamoto, her large eyes shimmering with emotion. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" she asked. Yamamoto smiled, shaking her head. "Never in my wildest dreams. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? We've all grown beyond what we thought possible." As the Earth-Moon rose over the Jupiter's horizon, casting a blue glow over the assembly, the 2 leaders looked out at the sea of diverse faces, tentacled, scaled, furred, and everything in between. Each being was unique, yet they were all united in a common purpose. The message was clear. In this vast, wondrous galaxy, there was a place for everyone. The era of rejection was over. A new age of unity, discovery, and mutual respect had begun. And at the heart of it all stood the unlikely alliance that had started it all. The humans and the Zephyrians, 2 species who had found strength in each other and changed the galaxy forever. As the summit drew to a close, the assembled beings raised their voices and various appendages in a unified cheer that echoed across the solar system and beyond, heralding the bright future that lay ahead for all.